Your wealth snowball is melting. And the worst part is, you probably can't see it. Because most people think the snowball melts when you make a big mistake, a bad stock pick, a layoff, a divorce, a medical bill. But that's not what melts it for most people. It's the slow heat. It's the tiny, normal, everyday stuff that feels harmless, until you stack it for 10 years. Here's a number that should make you sit up. $19 a day. If your money system leaks $19 a day, that's $577 a month, without you ever feeling broke. And if that leak lasts 1 year, that's $6,924. Now zoom out. If you're trying to build a snowball, that's not just $6,924 gone. That's $6,924 that never got to roll, that never got to compound, that never got to become the thing that carries you later. So the question isn't, am I saving? What's heating up your life right now? What's turning your snowball into slush? And if you've ever felt like you're doing fine, but you're not moving, you're not crazy. You're just standing too close to the heat. Now, let me introduce you to Harry. Harry works the evening shift as a hotel front desk agent. He checks in tired families. He handles the "my room is too loud" calls. He solves key card disasters. And he tries not to think about it. His take-home pay lands in his account twice a month, and it adds up to $3,411. And he rents a small one-bedroom in an older building. But it's quiet. His rent and utilities come out to $1,591. Car insurance is $173. Gas is $111. Phone is $69. Groceries are $387. And there's a credit card balance from a temporary situation that became permanent. $2,947. So on paper, he's not drowning, but he's not building either. And that's the danger zone, because when you're not drowning, you stop paying attention. You stop fighting for momentum. I'll get serious when things calm down. But things don't calm down, they just change costumes. 1 month it's tires, next month it's a birthday, then it's a weekend trip that doesn't count. Hotsy, then it's a subscription you forgot existed. Then it's eating out because you're exhausted. And the snowball doesn't die from one punch. It dies from 1,000 warm breaths. So Harry did what most people do. He tried to be good. He promised himself he'd cook more. He'd stop buying random stuff. He'd watch his spending. He was a financial monk. Then a double shift hit. Then a friend texted, "Let's go out." Then the hotel was short-staffed, and he got yelled at by 3 different guests for things he didn't control. And on the way home, he thought, I deserve something. That sentence is the match. I deserve something. Because the purchase isn't about the item. It's about relief. And relief spending is the hottest thing in personal finance. It feels small. It feels earned. It feels like self-care. But if you're not careful, it turns into a lifestyle heater that runs all day. Here's how the melting actually happens, but through 5 invisible heaters. Heater 1 is the convenience tax. Delivery fees, rush shipping, paying extra just to avoid friction. You don't feel it as one big hit. You feel it as a series of tiny, painless taps. But those taps add up to a monthly punch. Heater 2 is subscription creep. One subscription is nothing. But then it's a streaming service, a music app, extra cloud storage, a free trial that quietly renews, a fitness app you use twice, and now you're paying for a version of yourself you're not living. Heater 3 is interest. Interest is heat that never sleeps. If you carry a balance, you're not just paying money. You're paying for time. You're paying rent on your past. Heater 4 is idle cash. Now this one sounds weird, but it's real. Inflation quietly eats the buying power. It doesn't feel dramatic, but it's like leaving ice in the sun. Heater 5 is reward spending. The little treats, the little upgrades, the "I worked hard" purchases. Not because you're bad, because you're human. Harry's biggest heater was the reward spending. His shift ended late. He'd walk past a convenience store and grab just a few things: a drink, a snack, sometimes a cheap gadget on a shelf that promised to make life easier. It didn't ruin him. It just warmed him. So slowly, he didn't notice the melting until one night. He opened his banking app and saw the number, $213. That was it. Not negative, not a crisis, low. And that's when he felt the panic. Because low doesn't just mean tight. Low means fragile. Low means one surprise turns into debt. Low means the snowball can't grow because it has no runway. So he did the normal thing. He tried to cut spending for a week. Then he rebounded. And willpower is the most expensive fuel source on Earth. It burns out fast. So Harry didn't need more motivation. He needed a colder environment. He needed a system that lowered the temperature of his daily life. And this is where the shift happened. He read a book called Your Money or Your Life by Vicky Robin and Joe Dominguez. There's a question in that book that hit him like a brick. How much of your life are you trading for this purchase? Not money. Life, time, energy, stress. And Harry realized something uncomfortable. He didn't have a spending problem. He had a heat problem. His financial life was too warm, too many easy exits, too many tap-and-pay moments where the money left before his brain even showed up. So he built one mechanism, one simple move, no spreadsheets, no complicated budgeting rules, no perfect month. He built what he called the melt check, right before the purchase. Here's the melt check. Anytime Harry wanted to buy something that wasn't a bill, rent, groceries, or gas, he had to do 3 tiny steps. First, he had to translate the price into minutes. Because money is abstract, minutes are not. Harry's take-home pay was $3,411 a month. After his fixed bills, he realized his real spendable money was much smaller than he thought. So he did a simple math shortcut. He treated 1 hour of his life like it was $21. Not exact, not perfect, just close enough to feel real. That wasn't $39. That was almost 2 hours. 2 hours of front desk stress, 2 hours of complaints, 2 hours of being polite while someone treats you like furniture. Second, he had to write the minutes on a sticky note, not in an app, not in a spreadsheet, because physical friction is colder than digital. He kept the sticky notes inside his wallet. He saw them. Third, he had to wait 1 full song. 1 song. He made a rule. No purchase until 1 full song played through his headphones. But because a pause breaks the spell. Most money mistakes happen in a trance, a tired trance, an annoyed trance, a bored trance. 1 song was enough to wake him up. And here's the part that surprised him. He didn't stop buying things. He just stopped buying things he didn't actually want. Because a lot of wants are just emotions wearing a costume. He'd start the song, and halfway through he'd think, do I even care about this tomorrow? And sometimes the answer was, yes. So he bought it. No guilt. But most of the time, the answer was no. And he walked out. That's the whole mechanism. Minutes, sticky note, 1 song. It sounds almost too simple, right? So why did it work so fast? And this is the part most people miss. Your wealth snowball doesn't melt because you don't know what to do. And saving too slow. You can spend in 3 seconds. Tap, done. But saving feels like effort. Investing feels like effort. Paying down debt feels like effort. So the default becomes melting. The temperature dropped. The snowball can finally roll. And to validate this isn't just a cute story, Harry did something nerdy. He tracked only 1 number for 12 weeks. Not every expense, just 1 number. And how many did he cancel? Week 1, he did 23 melt checks. He canceled 11. That doesn't mean he saved money perfectly, but it meant 11 purchases never happened. Week 4, he did 18 melt checks. He canceled 9. Week 8, he did 16 melt checks. He canceled 7. Through repetition. And the money showed up faster than he expected. Month 1. His credit card balance dropped from $2,947 to $2,591. Not because he suffered, because he stopped melting. Month 2, it dropped to $2,197. Month 3, it hit $1,769. Then fall back, because a little progress makes you feel safe. Safe makes you warm again. So Harry added 1 more piece, a feedback loop that made progress visible. He kept a jar by his door. He put a poker chip in the jar. Just 1 chip, no dollar value, just a physical signal, because your brain loves visible proof. At the end of each week, he'd pour the chips on the table, and he'd count them. Not like a judge, like a scoreboard. And when he had a bad week, he didn't spiral. He didn't call himself lazy. He just saw the truth. More chips means colder spending. Fewer chips means warmer spending. So he adjusted. Not with shame, with awareness. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what about investing? What about the actual snowball? Here's what, and this is the part people always skip. He didn't start investing big, but consistent. But he picked one simple index fund, a basket, not a single stock, like buying the whole playlist, not one song. He tied it to his identity. He told himself one sentence every time he walked into work. I'm the kind of person who keeps my snowball cold. That was it. And with the extra breathing room from the melt check, he started with $113 per week. Because it was doable. Some weeks it was $91. Some weeks it was $137. But it stayed in the game. And that's what compounding rewards. Not genius. Staying alive. Because it always does. Month 4, his car needed repairs. The bill was $679. Old Harry would have put it on the card and hoped for the best. New Harry did something different, and part of it on the card, and he didn't lose momentum. Because the snowball was no longer tiny. It had mass. He still had food. He still paid rent, even if it was smaller. That's the difference between a snowball and a snowflake. A snowflake disappears when heat shows up. A snowball survives heat because it has size. What's your heat? Is it convenience spending? Is it subscriptions? Is it interest? Is it random little rewards? Be honest. Which one is warming you up? And here's the best part. You don't need to fix your whole life. You just need to lower the temperature at the exact moment you melt. So here's what you can do tonight. Pick one spending category that melts you most. Just one. Then create a melt check that fits your life. If you hate sticky notes, use a card in your wallet. If music doesn't work, use a timer. But keep the bones the same. Translate cost into minutes. So make it physical. Force a pause. That's it. And if you want to steal Harry's exact version, do it like this. Decide your life hour value. If you don't know your hourly value, pick a rough number. Keep it simple. Then when you're about to buy something, ask, how many minutes is this? Write the minutes down. Wait one song. Then decide. Not in a trance. As you. Because you're not broke. You're not lazy. You're not bad with money. You're just running a warm system. And warm systems melt snowballs. Cold systems grow them. So the goal isn't to become perfect, by default. Less heat, less melting, more rolling. It starts doing the work for you. That's when wealth stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like momentum. You don't need a miracle. You need temperature control, and your future gets heavier. Start small, start tonight. And protect the snowball. It gets hard to stop.